Hello everyone and welcome! In today's video I'm gonna be going quickly over the newest patch 8.13. I will be sharing some of my opinions on the changes and how they might affect the champions, and of course we're gonna be taking a look at the hidden notes that most people just glaze over. So starting it off, we have the release of the new reworked Aatrox and some of the hotfixes in which they buffed him since he was deemed too weak on release, and I want to add that they were pretty good buffs since not only did they buff his E by 5% extra healing on each rank and the longer dash range, but most importantly they made it so that when you E, it's an auto attack reset which brings a lot more damage in the early lane phase. Moving on, we have the long-awaited Irelia nerfs, which mostly targeted her passive base damage, and most people have been saying that Irelia is a mid laner now, or ADC since we're still in this meta, and I will have to agree with them. The reason being, with the base damage nerfs, she can no longer have any early game beneficial trades in top lane. However, in mid lane, where the enemies are squishier, her stun, double, triple dash and W on the way out for the damage reduction is almost always a very good trade for her. Afterwards, we quickly head over to the jungle to meet Kindred and see that they got a new W passive which will charge up as they move or attack and will heal them based on the level and missing HP. Pyke also received a bunch of small buffs and nerfs which boiled down to him having a better late game scaling but just a little bit weaker early game. All in all, still very strong. On another quick note, Lucian received a nerf to both his AD per level and also the damage his ult does to minions. Now onto the simple buffs as Riot calls it, we have Gragas and a very good buff for the laning phase to make sure that he has an easier time versus melee matchups and maybe a few range too. So they decided to buff Tryndamere, and honestly one of the worst decisions Riot has made this patch. Tryndamere was already so strong with his simplistic strategy of just perma pushing, and 50% of his entire game damage was true damage due to Infinity Edge and Conqueror combo, so I guess I'm perma banning him. Moving along, we have J4 with a very good buff on his E to combo even more and honestly one shot easier too. Two more buffs I want to comment on are the Kassadin and Twitch buffs. Kassadin has a weak early game but an amazing late. However, now he scales up even harder, a few more buffs to him, and you know, we will go back to the 90% ban rate on him. As for Twitch, all I want to say is, well, he will just snowball even harder now in the jungle with his level 2 G-strat. Of course, here are the rest of the buffs. Onto the nerf section, I have to say good job Riot on nerfing almost exclusively powerful champs in the last few patches. Except Nunu. I really don't know why he got nerfed. I guess it's kinda better for full AP Nunu now, but who knows. I really don't know where to start. They were all much needed nerfs, from Mundo's ridiculous level 1 to 2 one-shotting E's, to Vlad's E damage, all the way to Sin's RE nerfs. And of course, all of the other ones as well. All of these nerfs are really useful, but not really impacting, so although a little weaker, they're all still very strong champions. However, there is a nerf that I want to address, and it's Ornn's, where the length nerf is actually really bad for him and his trades, but my only problem is that they didn't change his animation so the W length is smaller so it matches the actual range. Finally, we're gonna take a look at the hidden notes of patch 8.13, which are basically all of the non-linear champion item changes that almost no one pays attention to. Starting at, we have 3 rune changes. The first is the now Hail of Blades, only needs 4 seconds out of combat and you can wait up to 2 seconds between each auto attack, a very needed change for this weak keystone. And afterwards a buff to the Unsealed Spellbook where you need now only 6 summoner spell swaps to max out and you get 20 seconds instead of 15 each time, which hopefully will bump it up but will not make it go towards its previous overpowered state. As for the third one, it's a buff towards the domination tree's extra stats from the secondary tree, so if you're going for domination, now you will get even more value than before. Onwards to the last and most interesting part of the hidden notes, we have Riot's in-game changes and how they perceive the game state right now. Basically what they said was that they want to make the early game more impactful, thus the Herald, Tower Gold, etc. changes they have made so far. However, the overtuning and continuous buffs to early game objectives made it so that snowballing is way easier, thus most games being decided by minute 10 and games ending between 15 and 20 minutes. While all they wanted was that the ones winning the lane should have a soft advantage over the rest. With those things in mind, they decided to make some nerfs in a few unexpected ways that I truly congratulate them for that. First of all, they lowered the death timers in the first 7 levels, so even if you die by the laner, or the ridiculous thing that's called jungle camping which has yet to be addressed, you should have an easier time because effectively you will lose less gold and experience as you will be back to lane faster. Secondly, they also made it so after an enemy gets 2 kills, you will get more bounty gold, and the stronger the enemy is with levels and kills, the higher overall bounty his head has. I believe this is a truly great change, cause it forces the team to try and find a way to take down that champion, thus getting a lot more gold from him, not just 75 or something measly like that. On the other hand, it makes it so that the enemy team with a fed teammate has to try and protect him. All this adding up to making a champion to an objective which will truly enhance the team communication / building aspect. Last but not least, they nerfed again the global gold from tower takedowns, understandably so, from 100 to 50 gold. For the simple reason that what you're supposed to do is take your lane tower and then go take the rest of the lane's tier 1 towers. However, this doesn't really happen in lower elos cause people just want to run it down mid, so it mostly affects higher up play, thus most players won't see a difference there since it's such a small gold difference. In conclusion, I really think Riot is heading for once in the correct direction to make the early game more fun and overall balanced. However, if I was to say something to them, it's that the jungle role is way too impactful, so even if you got a lead to your opponent, if you get camped you will fall behind very easily, and also the jungler fun enough doesn't get punished for basically living in your lane. Well then, I hope you enjoyed my rundown of the patch, and also tell me if you agree or not with my opinions on the changes. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, share, hit those notifications, maybe follow me on the social media I have linked, and I will see you all soon.